Hey guys, welcome back. I've got a really cool video today. I'm going to show you how to build and deploy a Python web app completely for free in like less than 10 minutes, hopefully. So you want to use Deta Space. So just come here and sign up. It's completely free, like I said. Once you've done that, it will sign you in, and I think it will present you with this screen. And we're just on Windows right now. So we're going to start by making a directory called FastAPI data. So that's what we're going to call our folder. So we're going to open Visual Studio Code. We're going to open a folder. Okay, in here, we're going to create a new file. We'll call that main.py. So we've got a main.py file. And this is just the FastAPI docs. We're going to grab this code. Boom, like that. Then we need another file. It says we're going to need a requirements file. And I'm going to add one thing to that, but let's create that. Requirements.txt. I know for a fact we'll also want data, so I'm going to add that in there too, because I'm going to show you how to interface with a database too, so you've got a proper API. That's it. Let's go to our terminal. New terminal here. So I think this is the screen that you get presented with once you sign up, and we're going to go to Windows, and we're going to get a key from here. So we're going to grab this command, and then just copy and paste that into here with a right click. This is going to set up. Cool, we've set that up, which is just installing the space CLI, which I've already done. Then you're going to go to settings. We're going to generate a token. This is our token. You want to copy that token. You want to close space login command, as we saw. Here's our access token. We're going to hit enter, and our login is successful. Wonderful. So we've done all of this now. We can just go ahead and create a project, and we just type space new, as it says here. Space new. We can just call it that, FastAPI data. Do you want to set up? Yes. So this is because I already did this a second ago. Okay, so we do space new. I'm just going to call it something else. Proj. Okay. So if we look at, we've got this space file now. So this was what was generated. I'll leave it like that, but this might need to be called FastAPI proj. If so, I'll come back and change that. So all we really need to do now is go on to our next step and space push really. And before we do that though, what we want to do is use this switch back to our FastAPI docs quickly again. We want to add this. So this will actually run our server. There you go. So we're using Unicorn, which we have got installed in this requirements file. And I'll leave it there for now, and then we can rebuild it with the database afterwards. So, as it said, space push. That looks like it's done. So now it's saying we've got a builder instance right here. So if we go back to our screen, we can see we've got this FastAPI proj. Let's open our builder instance like this. And we've got hello world. So that has actually worked correctly, which is nice. So our space file is completely fine as is, it seems. So this is what it looks like. And if we go to /docs, this is our docs. So these are the endpoints that we've got. Let's go items 12. And then that's just going to go ahead and print 12 for us. So right now, this API doesn't have full, not everyone would be able to access this. You can do that. So how do we do that? We need to add this. So actually I should have done that before. So this will make it public, so anyone can view your API, which means anyone can use your API, which is what we want. So let's rebuild that. Space push. And actually, whilst we do a space push, we can open a private browser and see what happens. You can see we can't actually access that. So that looks like it's done. Let's grab this app. And now we try again on a private browser. This time you can see we've got access actually. So that's now public. So that's kind of the first part. The second part, obviously, this is just an API, which is not very great. We can't do a lot with that yet. So we need to do a bit more before we've got something useful. And by the way, you can also build other apps, right? It isn't just Python. You can also build your front end here if you wanted to. So what I want to do is we're going to go ahead and now create a collection. So let's do a new collection. And this is sort of the root. This is going to be all your tables. So I'm just going to call this, I don't know, YouTube test or something. Create a collection. And so this is basically a drive or a base. So base refers to like database, and drive is sort of just files, I think, so sort of flat. So new base, we're going to create a table. We can just call it table 1, I suppose, or call it user table. Let's just call it user. In here we can add an item. Let's just edit this. So we've got our key, so this is how we're going to access it, and we might want a field like user, and in here, whoops, I'm going to have Tom, which is me, and then that's why it's not liking it. Save that. So we now have a key that we can access like this, and we have a table called user. You can create more tables up here, but we need to generate a key. I don't think I did do this. So as you can see, I'll close this. Here, collection settings, as before, we need to create a new key. This is how we're going to access our collection, and this is the key, and we'll put it in our main.file. In fact, let's call it our db key, which we're going to put in here. This is what I was looking for. So this is just in the documentation for interacting with our database. So we want to grab this. So import that. We want to initialize with our key. And we want to grab a particular table, database, and the name we need. The name was user. And that's it. And what I'm actually going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and grab that and put it in here. We've got an issue because I misspelled space. Looks like that's done. Hopefully no issues. Oh, I know what the issue is. This is our table that we've returned, but what we actually want to do is user.get and then get the key, and then the key, whoops. We need to go to our collection. This is our YouTube test that we just created. This is our key. So we want to get user.get, and we'll actually just overwrite that user. We'll just say user equals user.get that. Okay, we'll call that user1, and we want user1. Let's rebuild. Looks like that worked. And just like that, we've got data from our actual database. So there you go. You could now build your front end. You can actually build your front end on here if you wanted to. I think if you click on start building, it says start from scratch, and it actually gives you a template Svelte app, and you can build a little API which queries the thing we've just created, and you'd have a little project fully deployed completely for free, which is really nice. But anyway, yeah, that's pretty cool. So if you've got any questions, just let me know below.